Hi guys, welcome to Origin. There's a lot of talk at the moment about the definition of the word atheism and this whole atheism plus thing, and I just want to weigh in on it. But this isn't me picking a side. What I have to say I feel is more important than really anything that's been said in this whole debate so far. So first off, this whole thing about whether rocks and babies and agnostics are to be considered atheists. First off, Bionic Dance is right when she says you either believe or you don't. To argue anything else would be to contradict the basic laws of logic, which would be completely ridiculous. So the real argument would have to be over whether everyone who doesn't believe should be considered an atheist, regardless of whether your position is you don't know or can never know, or the concept of a god can't be defined. That doesn't matter. Bionic Dance would say all of those people are to be considered atheists. But people who would prefer to call themselves agnostics or ignostics would disagree. Now this is the important part. This discussion has been going on for months now. During that time, there's been no compromise, there's been no backing down of any sort on either side. And why should there be? Because language evolves naturally out of our communication. So no one can be right or wrong here. What I infer from that is that there will never be anything other than this never-ending stalemate between the two sides. So why continue arguing about it? And it's the same with the whole babies and rocks are atheists thing. You can make the argument that you need to be talking about human beings, that the organism needs to possess the cognitive faculties to be able to believe a position hypothetically. You can make all those arguments, but if the other side doesn't agree with you, chances are you're never going to come to an agreement. And don't worry about Atheism Plus either, because Free Thought Blogs probably lost most of its traffic when Thunderfoot was rightfully kicked off. The movement's far too restrictive in what they believe to gain enough numbers to ever have the kind of effect of, making atheism mean a certain political position as well as it's what it should mean and nothing more, which is you don't believe in a god. I mean, the standards of social justice and political correctness and whatever else might come up are just too high to ever gain enough members for them to ever have that kind of effect. So don't worry about Atheism Plus at all. It's not going to go anywhere, I promise you that. I would bet every single penny I had on it. I'm really disappointed to see discussions like this about definitions, about the whole Atheism Plus thing at the forefront of our discussion when there's so many more important things to discuss that do have solutions we can come to and have huge implications for how the world could eventually turn out. Take, for example, the current Assange case. He's in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, and the results of what's happening here, the precedent it sets for British law, European law, even American law, not to mention the fact that Bradley Manning is still, this is going on 2 years now, still being held in solitary confinement, still in terrible conditions. He's psychologically destroyed. All of these things, don't you think that's more important than what atheism should mean or does mean or any of that? Please, please, please start talking about more important stuff, and please stop wasting all this time on these completely meaningless topics. And yes, for the most part, I'm just as bad for making this video, and because of my current situation, which has been going on a year now, I'm not in any position to make any more substantial videos, but I am working on a blog talking about the Assange case, and I will make it into a video when I do have the time, but it requires a lot more thought and structure and everything. It can't be done in this format where I'm talking to a webcam. I don't even know how this video is going to turn out. It looks very jittery here. But I will have the blog and an accompanying video ready at some point. The blog hopefully very soon. But yeah, the moral of this video, the thing that you should focus on, there's more important things to talk about. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.